Hello everybody. Alright, I want to tell you another breakdown story. And this is about an RVer that broke down over in New Mexico. I was cruising back from New Jersey, right, and I delivered in Amarillo, Texas, so I was empty. This is back when I was an owner-operator. And I figured I'm just going to head home and just go back empty and just take 2 weeks off and chill, right? So I get out there and I park at just the truck stop at San John and got me a cup of hot chocolate and chill. And I saw this couple, you know, good-looking young couple, and they looked pretty sad and depressed. And they were just sitting in the truck stop like, you know, they lived there or something. So I was curious. So I go, hey, how's it going? You guys all right? And they're like, not really. And I'm like, what's up? And he told me the story of broken down, man. I go, where? Here? Is your big rig broken down or something? And they're like, no, we're RVers. We have a 35-foot fifth wheel trailer, and our pickup truck that pulls it broke down. I'm like, what happened? He goes, well, they're saying it's the intercooler. I'm like, the intercooler? What kind of truck do you have? He goes, a Ford F-250? I'm like, ooh. Which turbo went? You blew the turbo, right? He goes, yep. Which one? Let me guess, the one in the bottom. He's like, yeah, how'd you know? I said, I hate Fords, that's how I know. Well, that sucks, buddy. Well, I wish you guys luck. How long have you been here for? Oh, we've been sitting here for a week. I'm like, your truck has been in that shop for a week? Those guys don't know what the hell they're doing in there. Everybody knows that. Well, we're not from here. Well, neither am I. Right? So, anyways, so I go, all right, guys. Well, I wish you guys luck, you know, and you just, you know, may God be with you, blah, blah, blah. So I walked to my big rig. I was going to stay the night there, right? So I went into the truck and you know, and I'm just chilling. And I took a little nap. I wish I could do now. And, saw him get out of his trailer because I could see his trailer. So he got out of his trailer, like, I'm gonna go talk to this guy. So I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Alex. So, hey, I'm John. Hey, you guys need anything? You need me to do anything? I'm gonna be here for the rest of the night and the morning tomorrow. I mean, I'm empty. I got nothing to do. But if you need any help, let me know. You know, I just felt bad. He goes, no, not really. I said, that's a nice rig you got there. That's too bad the truck broke down. He goes, yeah, we just bought this thing 3 weeks ago. I'm like, oh man, that thing's beautiful. Big fifth wheel trailer, man. You know, he goes, he asked if I wanted to see it. And I go, yeah, sure. So it was just him and his wife. So we go inside the trailer, and the whole side wall just slid out. It was like, it wasn't even like a trailer. It had 2 bathrooms. The bedroom had dual slide outs. It was like you were living in a custom home in that thing, man. And I told him, man, this thing is beautiful. So yeah, but now we don't got nothing to pull it with. I'm like, oh, they'll fix it. And I go, what's that smell? He's like, oh, that's the restroom. Our holding tanks are full, and we got nowhere to dump them. And I'm like, dude, that smells like my camper. and then so, how long has it been like that for? I asked him. He goes, a couple of days. You've been this stink for a couple of days? Oh, dude, no, that sucks. He goes, well, the truck's broken down. We have no way of moving the trailer, so we can't dump the holding tanks. And I'm like, you know, I'm kind of hungry, shit. I said, I feel like going and eating at this little restaurant, little Mexican restaurant I like over in Tucumcari, New Mexico. He goes, yeah? Well, what does it have to do with the trailer smelling? You mean that smell make you hungry or something? And I'm like, no. I go, but this is a fifth wheel trailer. He goes, yeah? And I said, and I got a truck with a fifth wheel hitch. I got my big rig. He goes, oh no, that won't work, dude. He said, no, this isn't, big rigs can't hook to this. I'm like, oh yeah? Watch this. Right? And he goes, what? I go, come on, let's go outside. So we go outside, right? And I go, look, I'm going to slide my fifth wheel all the way back so I can be able to turn with your trailer hooked to my truck. He goes, it won't hook to it. I'm like, you want to bet? I'll bet you right now it will. And he goes, really? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, no way. And I said, yep. So I already had my truck. My truck was still hooked to my trailer, so I could be able to slide the fifth wheel back, right? And so I did. And unhooked it, hooked up to his trailer, and as soon as my hitch buckled onto his trailer, he was like, I can't believe this. Like, he was like astounded. I go, all right, see, I told you it would hook up. And he goes, oh man, that's awesome. I go, all right, now, here's what we're gonna do. I go, I can tow your trailer. I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. So how about we go have dinner over at that little Mexican restaurant in Tucumcari. We'll take your trailer over there. We'll dump the holding tanks and top it off with water, and we'll clean the tanks out. He's like, really? For reals? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So He goes, all right, let me ask my wife. She came out all freaking out. What was that noise? Hey, he just hooked the trailer up to his big rig. And so he told her, she said, yeah. So I threw him in the big rig. Right, we finished tying everything up together, lifted the landing gear up and all that, blah, blah, blah. Took his trailer to Tucum Carry, cleaned it out, dumped the tanks, filled it up with water, cleaned out all the tanks, and then we came back to San John. After that, I said, all right, cool. So I hooked the trailer, dropped it where it was, and I went back under my trailer, and I visited with them for a little bit, and we got to talking about what was wrong with the truck. And I told them, you know, from my past experiences of breaking down in New Mexico as a truck driver, you really don't want to do business with anybody here. So, you know, you really don't want to do business with these guys, as you can see. So he goes, well, I don't know what else to do. I mean, we've been here, we don't know what, I go, they don't know what they're doing, dude. Let's go over there. He's like, all right. So me and John go over, we walk over to the mechanic's place, right? And the good old boys in there, right? And I told him, hey, this guy here, John, you know this guy? He's, oh yeah, that's his pickup truck right over yonder. I'm like, yeah, that pickup truck's been over yonder for 6 days. Why in the hell isn't it done? So who in the hell are you? I go, I'm the guy asking the questions and the guy that's going to sue your ass for doing what you're doing. These guys been sitting in this parking lot for 6 days. We had to take his trailer to go dump the holding tanks because you're a jack-off. He's like, I don't need to be talked to like that. And I go, I think you do need to be talked to like that. I said, what's wrong with the truck, Mr. Mechanic? Right? And why is the bill up to $5,000 already and the truck's all in pieces? You haven't even finished it and you wanted to pay you $5 grand? And he goes, well, that's because we got the intercooler. It ain't, you know what? Intercoolers don't cost $5 grand. All right, and we're going to order the turbo. So you haven't ordered the turbo yet. All right, what's wrong with the turbo? Well, the turbo burned out. I'm like, well, why are you ordering the intercooler? You're selling parts the truck doesn't need. He goes, oh, it needed an intercooler. I go, yeah, was it leaking? I don't know. And then I asked John, hey, do you see any leaks? Nope, no leaks. Well, there's not going to be any internal leaks. It'd be the turbo anyway. It wouldn't be the intercooler, right? So I asked him, so it doesn't need an intercooler, does it? He goes, yes, it does. I go, no, it doesn't. You're an idiot. He goes, and then he goes, well, why do you say that? I go, look, dude, you're just a backyard, backward-ass country fuck mechanic that thinks you know everything because you're a redneck, and you're an idiot. This truck doesn't need an intercooler. It needs a turbocharger, all right? Why did you guys tear the top end of the motor apart? It doesn't need to be torn apart. The turbo, the one that went out is the turbo in the bottom. You don't need to tear the top end apart. Why'd you tear it apart? And he goes, well, because we needed to get to the valves. I'm like, what valves? There's no valves up there. I go, I think you're full of shit. And you know what? Here's what's going to happen. I want you to get all the parts of this truck, put them in the truck, in the back of the truck, anywhere, because we're towing it out of here. Well, you're going to give me $5 grand, he said. So we're not going to give you shit. I'm not going to give you anything. I'll go get a fucking court order to lift the lien on this truck and then come back with that court order and get this truck out of here. And not only that, use that court order that I had to get this truck out of here with against you when we sue you for 20 grand. Simple as that. Who in the hell are you? It's none of your business who I am, but you don't want to find out who I am. I was all like, you big shit. He's a dumb redneck. Oh, damn it, shit. Okay, fine. You know what? This truck's been a headache all week long. I can't stand this truck. I go, the only reason why you can't stand this truck and the only reason why this truck has been a freaking headache is because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's why. If you knew what you were doing, this truck would have been fixed a long time ago. But like I said, you're just a backward-ass country fuck so-called wannabe mechanic. You're not even certified. You're a tech. You're a hillbilly that doesn't know shit. That thinks you know everything, and that's why you don't know shit. And I ain't even going to get into that with you. So get this truck ready and get it the fuck out of here. And we walked out. John's like, dude, what did you just do? I'm like, look, don't even worry about it, man. Watch this. I heard he was chucking wrenches in the garage. He was all mad and shit. He didn't even threaten to call the cops, man. He didn't even threaten to do that, right? So a half hour later, he opened the doors and they pushed the truck out of the garage into the parking lot. And then me and John, you know, did some research and we found a tow guy out of Vega, Texas that would drive out, hook up his truck and tow it to the Ford dealer in Amarillo. So he comes out and he says, well, I can tow the truck, but I can't tow the trailer, right? Well, I told the guy I'll tow his trailer, all right, because we don't want to leave his trailer here out as pissed off as we made that guy, But my big rig trailer had to stay, but he didn't know my truck or not. He didn't know my trailer or anything, so it didn't really matter. So anyway, we towed the trailer out there and the truck out there, and on the way, we stopped to get something to eat and all that. And I was driving the big rig towing his trailer, and then as they were hooking up the truck, the tow truck driver was telling me, he was the owner of the tow truck. I fixed trucks and stuff like that. He was a big Ford guy, right? But John just wanted it to the dealer, so that's what we did. So the dealer guy gets the technician goes in there and he looks at he lifts the hood of the truck and he looks in there and he goes, "This is gonna be $8 grand right off the bat," and that's starting, right? So you know, it can be done, but it's gonna cost you about $8 grand. And I'm like, oh man. John just looked at me. He's like, "What did you just do?" I go, "Look, dude, just chill. See what he's gonna do. I'm gonna go get somebody." So he goes and gets a sales guy. Comes out here, texts John. "John, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this truck off your hands, and we're gonna sell you a brand new one, man. Brand new F250. Hey, we even got an F350. You know, for $1,000 more, we'll give you the 350 loaded. We'll give you the big the ranch, right? The big ranch, right?" So I was just like, "Are you serious?" And then that was a sales guy. So I pulled John away. I go, "Come here, John." I go, "Yo, dude, here's the deal. You buy that new truck, right? You're going to end up with the same problems you have with this truck here, because that's Ford. They don't take care of the defects on their trucks, right? So your best bet is let's just find a way to get this truck fixed, man. All right, so we'll just take it out of here." So, man, I'm sick of you pulling my truck out of here. Well, dude, this is what happens when you deal with hillbillies, right? So called the tow truck guy back, right? Because he was a cool hillbilly. And I told John, "Look, let's just call the tow truck guy back. He's a big Ford man. He's a Ford guy. You saw his big tow truck. That thing was all souped up, right?" And so we called him back. He said, "Ah, come on, man, I'll come pick it up." So he came back to Amarillo, picked it up, towed it to Vegas. He had a big ranch, right? And so we did that, pulled it over there, and I hooked this trailer to my big rig again and pulled that over there. And then he said, "All right, well, we're going to have to make a deal." I'm like, "All right, how much do you want, dude?" He goes, "Well," he goes, "I don't know yet." And I said, "Look, dude, I don't know." I go, "Give us a price." He goes, "About $2 grand. I said, "All right, deal." And I told John, "Look, dude, I'll help you out. I'll pay half the $2 grand just to get your ass back on the road, right?" He goes, "No, man, that's cool. We can have a lot better than what those other guys are going to do. You got us out of a bind, man." I'm like, "Yeah, well, let's see if we can, let's just get it finished up." So we told, you know, the tow truck guy, "Yeah, okay, $2 grand. So he came up and he took all the parts out of the truck, and he said, "There's nothing wrong with the intercooler." So put the intercooler back in, put the truck back together. He goes, "I got a turbocharger." He goes, out of a wrecked truck with the same motor, and we'll just install that. And it's not new, but you know, it'll get you to where you got to be." And John said, "No, I want a new one." He goes, "Well, that's $3,500 for a new one." He goes, "I'll give you this whole thing, do all this job, towing everything, included everything." He goes, "I'll do it all for $1,200. And he said $2,000, but he liked John, and so I guess he said $2,000. You know, he saw what he was in. He said, "All right, cool." So we got the whole thing done for $1,200. After he was done, John goes, "Come on, let's go take it for a test drive." Right? He paid the guy off, and we left our equipment in his ranch. And John gets in the truck. I go, "I don't know if I want to ride in a Ford." He goes, "Just get your ass in the truck." So we all get in his truck, right? Went straight back to Amarillo. He went to the Dodge dealer. Went up to the sales guy and said, "I want to trade this truck in for a new truck." And he traded his Ford in for a Dodge 3500 dually 4-wheel drive with a Cummins in it. That was the funniest thing ever. And that was it. And he goes, "I'll never buy a Ford again, ever. That was a worst piece of junk." So now he's all happy. Now he's got his new truck and his new trailer. His wife's happy. Everybody's happy. I did a good deed, helped him out, and that was the other story. So that's it. All right. I'll talk to y'all later.